What's up, Patreons and channel members? Thank you so much for your support. This is the behind the scenes for this week of May the 23rd through the 27th, 6th, something like that. I got my new miter saw in. It's right there. You're fixing to see that. But first, I want to show you this board that I just did. I'm also going to tell you about the wall system. It should be coming in tomorrow, so you may see that on this behind the scenes. Just depends on if I get it in time before I get this out. Time for the new saw. What did I pick? Well, let's find out. I did go again with a 12-inch saw. It really hurts my feelings that the DeWalt's going away. And what am I going to do with it? I'm likely just going to give it to somebody who needs it. I can't ship it, so it'd have to be local pickup only here in Monticello, Arkansas. Before I pick this up, I want you to comment below what you think I got. Bosch, Makita, or Festool? Comment below. I'll wait. All right, that's enough. Did you comment though? Because I need you to comment before I pick this up. Because if you don't comment and you comment later, that's cheating. Oh my gosh, it's heavy. Makita, that's what I went with, and there's a few reasons why. First and foremost is the dust collection on multiple reviews says this is better than the Bosch. The Festool was never even in my thinking because it's only a 10-inch saw and it's $1,500. It's just way too much money for me to spend on a saw when I knew I was going to have to buy the saw and some type of dust extractor to go with it. So that's coming later, but I wanted to be able to basically spread my money as far as it could go. And at the same time get a saw with zero clearance in the back and a decent saw that would last, Lord willing, for years to come. Also, it has the laser. I missed that part of the Delta when I had it, the shadow line. I really like that, so I'm really going to appreciate the laser. And then last but not least is the cutting capacity was 1 inch more cross-cut capacity than the Bosch, and then also like a 1/4 inch deeper than the Bosch. Not enough to make any difference, but that 1 inch cross-cut is a big deal because a lot of times on the DeWalt or even on the Delta that I had, and I'm sure I'll run into it with this, but you're always like this much from actually having a cross-cut. So I'm totally used to the zero being up front. Now it's on the side. As you can see there's an arrow pointing to that zero. It's on both sides, so when you turn it, you're actually going to 60 in the center instead of 0. So on the Amazon listing, these are actually shown to be just metal bars that go across, not these nice supports, although I'm going to take these off because they're going to go into the miter stand. But if you were buying this, to use without a miter stand or on the job, these supports come out and they're really nice, so that's cool. I can immediately see why the dust collection is better on this one. If you've looked at any reviews on the Bosch, you'll see where the dust collection fails on it because this piece here is so small. This Makita has a giant dust throat that's right where the blade's going to go, and then there's also one up top. So they actually have 2 places to collect the dust, which is huge. So it comes with this dust hose that will connect in 2 different places, and the reason for that is it's going to pull the dust from this one and from this one at the same time, which I think is really cool. I had to break out the instruction manual because I couldn't find the blade change wrench, which is conveniently stored right there. So I'm gonna plug it in and just try the laser line and the soft start just to see how they work. I don't think I'm gonna cut anything and make a mess yet. I want to get it on the miter station that I haven't built yet. So the miter station will be built to fit this thing. It is pretty big as far as front to back goes. I knew that when I was ordering it, that it has a little bit bigger of a footprint than the Bosch. I understood that, but I also understood the niceties that you get with this one versus the Bosch, which is, I think, is why it's $100 more than the Bosch. Like the Bosch didn't have soft start. The Bosch didn't have a laser line. And then the Bosch, the knuckle system is, while smooth as butter, this is more of a slide system. Operates very similar to the DeWalt that I have now. Sorry, it operates very similar to the DeWalt I have now, but the rails come forward instead of backwards, so you save that behind the saw space. There is a switch on top to activate the laser. Laser. Where's that laser? I'm sure I have to activate it somehow. Let's see about the soft start, because the reason I wanted the soft start before I pulled the trigger is the Delta's like, I mean the DeWalt jumps every time you pull the trigger. So this one I hope doesn't do that. Like you have to basically take the DeWalt and start it from the up position. If not, it'll jerk upwards anyway. Oh, this one doesn't do that. It just, you hear it come to life slowly. I like that because now I can do, it even spins down a little bit slower. It's not jerking. Let me show you. From here to here, that is so much nicer. Now I got to figure out how to get this laser going. These adjust in and out so you can actually get a zero clearance on there. Oh, I see the laser now. I wasn't seeing it earlier. I'm red-green colorblind, so that poses an issue. I can barely see it, literally. I'm sitting there flipping the whole time thinking it's not working. I think one main question everybody always has about a sliding miter saw is how much will it deflect? You should know that all of them are going to deflect. Let me see if I can get the camera on there. Should be able to see that pretty good now. So this is just straight away. I'm not pushing on it or anything. If I put pressure on it left or right, we'll go left first. You can see I can actually force it to go over there. A normal cut, it shouldn't deflect. But if you push on it, if you push to the left or to the right, you're going to get some deflection, more so to the left than actually to the right, just based on how these things are made. My DeWalt deflects like that. The Delta deflected like that. Not quite as much as the DeWalt. This one's probably in line with the Delta, if I remember right. I mean, you're going to have some deflection when you extend them all the way out if you push left or right. If you're going straight down, you shouldn't have any issues so long as you're not leaning on it or something like that. So I'm not really concerned about that. Overall impressions out of the box, I'm pleased with it. It is quite big. It's 36 inches from here to the back. And so my miter station is going to be 24 inches. So from the back to the front is like 24 and a half to the front of the feet where you bolt it down. So when it's not in use, then I will just have it in the angled position locked down. I don't actually use a miter saw a whole lot. So that's most of the time to save space, that's how it'll be. Once I start cutting with it, I'll give you some more impressions, but I wanted it out of the box for my channel members and patrons to see the new tool in the shop and what I thought about it straight away. These on the Delta and the DeWalt actually slid back and forth, these high fences. On this one, they just drop in and with a little thumb screw, they tighten down and you can easily take them out. And one thing I noticed is when you go 60 degrees on this saw, it didn't happen on the Delta, it didn't happen on the DeWalt. When you go 60 degrees and you come down, it hits the fence. Look, at 60 degrees, that's metal on metal. You'd hit that fence if you cut with those high fences installed. It's actually extremely surprising that it is that way. I would never have guessed it shouldn't be that way. I don't think it should hit at 60 degrees. So I was able to get this in this week. This is Friday, so you'll probably see this today. I'm trying to get this video out for you guys. This is the Omni Wall, and this is called the Woodworker or the Weekend Warrior XXL package. I'll put a link in the description below to it. It comes with most all of these accessories. The only thing I picked up extra was the socket organizers and a couple of extra hooks and things. This thing is fantastic. I would highly recommend it. It was given to me by Omni Wall. We're in partnership on a video, but oh my goodness, is this awesome. I would have loved to have had this years ago. So the basic premise is the miter station is going to go here, the miter saw in this area somewhere. I'm only going 6 feet, so to about right here, and then my router table can roll right there beside it. So it'll be giving you a little more floor space. I love that it comes with those shelves up top. There's also these lights. I did pick up the lights extra. They are magnetic and they're rechargeable, and they come with the charger and everything. So I just got them stuck up there because it just kind of gives us some background. But I have one here above the chisels, just kind of highlight the things. Really, really cool system. Also went ahead and mounted all of my clamps, as you see here. This was given to me by a good friend, these clamp racks from Rockler. And then over there, you'll see the gym stuff. I picked up 2 panels for over there, a couple of shelves and hooks so that I could mount all that gym equipment up there and it would be out of the way and off the floor. Right now, as it stands, I have freed up a ton of floor space just by having this and drawer space because they were really packed. Now the miter saw, I couldn't see the red line. I still can't see it on most everything. I can only see it when it hits the silver. I'm red-green color deficient, they call it, color blind, whatever you want to call it. So certain shades of red and green I can't see, and that's one of them. Even on lighter colored woods, dark colored woods, I've tried on everything. And so that feature is absolutely useless to me. So that's a bummer. And I'm also kind of considering sending it back. I don't know yet because it's so big. It's like really, really big. And in this space I'm trying to conserve. So I may start looking at 10-inch saws. I've got a few days I can send that back. So I don't know what your recommendations on a 10-inch saw. And the last thing that I'm working on this week is I've started the Vietnam Veterans mallet. And what you see here is basically an epoxy pour, walnut with black epoxy. And so my idea is I got this from Crafted Elements, and it's a dog tag shape. And so my idea is to make a display base. I'm going to cut this shape after this is cured, cut this out, engrave it with the CNC. All gave some gave all. And then the mallet will set on here. I'll make some little holders so that the mallet sits down on there. Probably do one of my standard type mallets like you can get the template for. So it'll be in this similar style of a mallet with the coins embedded in it, unless I come up with something else. But that's kind of what I got on my mind right now. I hope you enjoyed this week's behind the scenes. Let me know your thoughts on the saw and the OmniWall and my idea for the mallet.